Welcome back. Nilesh Shetty from Quantum Advisors is now with us to talk about the market fundamentals and his top sectoral bets from here on. Nilesh, things have dramatically improved from the last time we spoke about. When we spoke about last time, we were in the midst of a very steep correction. Stocks were getting derated, and now we've snapped back higher. Even in sectors like IT, where there was a marked disappointment in terms of the numbers. What have you been doing in the month of April?
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been trimming a bit in the month of April. Like you said, in the month of February, when the markets were correcting quite sharply, we saw some opportunity to deploy some capital. But after that, the rebound has been very, very sharp. So we've had broad weights, large weights in financials, in two-wheelers and IT services companies, of which the two-wheeler pack is getting expensive for us. So we've been trimming because they've had stellar 2024 as well. But apart from that, getting value outside of these three investment basket has been very tough for us. So our cash levels tend to be relatively elevated. Even today, it's about 14%.
Okay, you spoke about private banks, two-wheelers and IT. These are the dominant holdings for you. In that, two-wheelers is now getting expensive, so you're trimming your positions.
That's correct.
Okay. What about IT? What did you do in the month of April? Did you add on to any positions? Or, how will you navigate, looking at IT, say, for the next 6 months?
Yeah, unfortunately, IT may not be a 6-month play, given the uncertainty around recession, probably in the US, and this risk of AI. You may have to be a bit more patient as an investor. What sort of we like was valuations where they were at the lower end of the historical bands. But we don't see any meaningful catalyst over the next 6 months. You may have to be patient. Perhaps once this uncertainty recedes a bit and US corporates start investing back again in the discretionary spends, you may see a pickup coming in revenues. But till that time, these stocks may sort of hover in a small range and they may not go up materially.
Okay. So wait out at least for IT. You're not going to get near-term gains. Maybe there may be something that you should watch out for, but long-term, it's a good story. That's what you're saying. Nilesh, what's your thought coming in on any other sectors? You're finding value anywhere else? Obviously, we've seen the correction coming in the recent times. So something like a pharma, real estate, anything on that front that you would look at?
So the portfolio sort of is a value portfolio with the governance sector. So unfortunately, real estate, we've not had companies pass a governance screen when we are evaluating a lot of these companies there. So we've never had allocation in our last 25 years to real estate. Pharma is something we've been watching very closely. So when Mr. Trump announced there could be significant tariffs, you saw some correction coming off, but then they rebounded again. But that is probably you will see some names come through. We are watching the consumer durable space and the consumer staple space closely. There has been correction, but the valuations were so high, they still, despite the correction, are expensive. But if this underperformance continues, we expect more names to come through in that basket. But barring that, very few opportunities outside of that.
Okay, very few opportunities there. So, Nilesh, then are you going to be waiting out and watching for the earnings season to, pass by and then look at adding something? Or, what is your thought process right now?
So the portfolio is stock specific, so there could be opportunities that may come anytime. And again, we are sector agnostic. So whenever we find a stock coming at levels that we are comfortable with, we are happy to buy. Right now, the closest that I see is a pharma company and probably a couple of consumer durables company if they come through. But again, nothing immediately very close to our sort of levels that we would be adding them to the portfolio.
And pharma, would that be focusing more in terms of the domestic side of exposure, or companies which are more focused towards domestic side? Given we still don't know what's happening on the tariff front, right, in the US. So would that be more domestic facing?
No, the correction has actually happened in the companies which are facing more to the US, and that is where we think there could be an opportunity if you assume things will normalize. So if you go with that assumption, the valuation correction will give you an opportunity to add some stocks there in the portfolio.
Since private sector banks or financials is your top holding right now, and you've been bullish on it, with the right disclosure, can you tell us some of your picks there?
So we've been primarily focused on the large private sector banks. You take the top 3 largest private sector banks, we have them in the portfolio. We've been holding them for a while now. Last 3 months is when they really started outperforming. Before that, they were underperforming for a long time. So we think there is still significant upside there. They've still not moved materially enough for valuations to indicate they're expensive. Our sense is they're probably in the early stages of a rally which may last for the next 2-3 years.
Okay. And outside of the top three private sector banks, do you have any financial exposure?
So we are very bullish on the insurance space, both life and general. Valuations have been attractive there because of a lot of regulatory headwinds that came through. I think there could be more names actually which may come through there in the insurance space.
And nothing in the mid-cap arena in, at least when it comes to financials? Like today, for instance, you've got an RBL bank, DCB bank. They're all up 8-9%.
So we have a penchant to ensure that we don't want to worry about the bank once it's in the portfolio. So like I said, in the mid-caps bank, there are other issues, concerns on the book which may come up, which we don't want to be exposed to. So we actually just stuck to the larger well-known names.
Okay. Nilesh, thank you so much for joining in with us, giving us your views on the market as well as sector-specific, especially coming in on the banking side, IT, pharma as well. It's an insightful conversation that we had there. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break and we'll get back the co-founder and managing director of Rosari Biotech after the break to talk to us about their numbers.